How y'all doing? This is Mongo Slade, and today we're going to do TLC thoughts and predictions. All right, so it's a six-match show. It might end up adding a pre-show match, but for now it's not listed. So let's go through the card. So match one for the Raw Tag Team Championships, you have the New Day, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus the Hurt Business, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. To be quite honest, the New Day are basically just coat racks. You know, they just put these tag team titles on them because there was nobody else available. There are no other teams. So now you have the Hurt Business, which is now a real team. You also have a story going with Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. They've kind of been, there's been a little bit of tension between the two of them since Cedric joined the Hurt Business. Remember that Shelton was the one that kind of threatened him that if this wasn't real, he was going to show him what the Hurt Business was all about. Now Cedric is a little bit too enthusiastic for Shelton. He's constantly kind of, standing up and trying to break out, be a breakout star. I think this is the opportunity to give Cedric Alexander the ball. It's time for him to win a title. And then we tell the story from there. We let Cedric, sort of be the breakout star. There's some natural opponents for the Hurt Business. You have Retribution. And I think you still have Retribution for the New Day as well. But I think I like the idea of Retribution and Hurt Business coming back together because Retribution made the Hurt Business like really big. And the Hurt Business has not been able to get that steam back that they had when they was really fighting Retribution every week. And Retribution needs something to do because they are. I mean, fighting Ricochet is fine and all, but there's more than one of them, so they can have more than one storyline. So I'm gonna go with Cedric Alexander and the Shelton Benjamin. I think it's a good start for Cedric's career. Shelton is on the back end of his, but this is all still pretty good stuff. So you got the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship match: Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler versus Asuka and a partner of her choosing, and I truly believe it will still be Lana. If in my fantasy booking scenario, Lana hits Shayna Baszler with a crutch or something like that after hobbling to the ring, and Asuka just pins Shayna Baszler, and that's how the match ends. If they do something silly, like putting Peyton Royce in the match, because I know that they kind of agreed on Twitter to be partners, I'm almost certain that was just a red herring. It's not going to happen. At least I hope it doesn't happen. And it wouldn't do Peyton Royce any good. Either way it goes, I do believe that these titles need to end up on the Riot Squad, or these titles need to end up on Mandy Rose and I was about to say Sonya Deville. I'm just so used to saying Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, but Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. So they can travel, because these titles being monopolized on Raw is not doing any good. Asuka needs to have a real opponent. So she's actually defending her title. So I think she needs to, double belt Asuka is interesting for a little while. And then you have Lana lose it in the first match to whoever, maybe Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. And you just let them run with it. Either way it goes, the titles have to come off to Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. So might as well do it at TLC. So the match set up. Next match is crazy as hell. It is the Firefly Inferno Match with the Fiend versus Randy Orton. In my opinion, this should be the main event of the show, but of course I don't get to vote. So this is going to be crazy. Do we want to burn Randy alive is the question. Usually this kind of match will be set up so that the Fiend could lose without being pinned or submitted. If this match goes on first or something like that, then it's likely that the Fiend will lose. Even though I don't think it'll go first. I think that one of the TLC matches will end up going first. This match is perfectly set up for the Fiend to lose, because he doesn't have to be pinned or submitted, unless this is similar to the Ring of Fire, which if I remember correctly, the Ring of Fire was different from the Inferno match, because the Inferno match you had to set somebody on fire. The Ring of Fire was pinfall or submission. So if this, I don't know which one this is, okay? If you don't remember, the Ring of Fire match was like the last sort of Inferno match that the WWE had. I believe it was Bray Wyatt and Kane. So I'm not sure which kind of match this is going to be. A lot of people have thought that maybe it's going to be cinematic, which would be very cool. That would be badass. So I would really enjoy it if it was going to be cinematic. That would be dope. So my question would be, what kind of match is this? I don't understand it. I don't know what it is, you know. But I'm gonna go with. I think the safe choice is to go with Bray Wyatt, because I think that he's just. But what do you do with Bray Wyatt if he beats Randy Orton and sets him on fire? You know, then what? Then what do you do? Would you put him in the Royal Rumble? I mean, and then what if you have Randy beat the Fiend? What do you do with the Fiend from that point forward? I don't know. I think the safe choice is still the Fiend, so I'm gonna go with the Fiend. But I'm very interested in this. I was interested in this as a regular match. You know, I thought it still would have been pretty short. But with a short card like this, they might be wanting to put some time on this. So it'll be pretty interesting. The next match, the only singles match, the mano a mano, who's the best? SmackDown Women's Championship, Sasha Banks versus Carmella. Nothing stupid like champagne on a pole or champagne around the ring or nothing dumb like that. Just a straight up wrestling match between two of the people, one of which is Carmella. It's like, you choose not to gimmick up the Carmella match. Okay, whatever. So Sasha Banks is going to win this match. And I think that they can do a third match on TV, maybe with some type of gimmick, no disqualifications, no countouts or something like that. And you could just have that match on TV, similar to what they did with Bayley, except for, they had the first match on pay-per-view with Bayley. Then they had the Hell in a Cell match, I believe. No, they jumped straight to the Hell in a Cell match, didn't they? I forgot how they did it, but I know that they had the blow-off match on TV. And I'm thinking they're going to do the same thing here. Is maybe Sasha Banks wins this match, and then Carmella gets a third match. That is, no disqualifications, no countouts, blah, 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 blah. And then, that's the blow-off match. But I definitely don't see Sasha Banks losing the title before WrestleMania. I just don't see the reason for it. So this is fine. This is fine for now. Carmella should have a good showing. Fairly good showing. Her character has been really top-notch. She's been doing really good as far as code switching between, being a diva and then kind of being like my wife, Carmella. So I like this. I like how they're doing that. Sasha Banks, I don't like Sasha Banks as a face, man. She's still kind of heelish, even as a baby face, but her stans don't care. Like, Sasha Banks doesn't have fans. She got stans. Carmella kind of has the same thing. Like, there's no casual Sasha Banks fan. There's no casual Carmella fan. Like, if these people have fans, they got lunatic stans that like daily photo of Sasha Banks, y'all, on Twitter. Get the hell out of here. So you have Universal Championship, tables, ladders, and chairs. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. In a match where surely Kevin Owens is going to get shot out of a cannon in order to get sat down, right? No? Oh, they're just going to have a regular match? No? A regular TLC match? This match is probably going to end up going on first because it's the most predictable of the two. And despite the fact that they put so much emphasis on the Roman Reigns segments, his matches go on first usually, so they can get the virgin crowd and not have to compare the two matches, make them so different. But I definitely want Kevin Owens to have some type of backup. I want somebody to appear at this match to at least be able to keep off Jey Uso, so that Roman can have an opponent for the Royal Rumble. Because I really don't see how you have Kevin Owens as an opponent for TLC and the Royal Rumble. I just don't see how that works. So I really, maybe Bill Goldberg will be the Royal Rumble opponent. I think that's kind of what I suggested in my Roman Reigns Bill Goldberg video. So maybe that'll be the case. But we know Kevin Owens certainly is not winning this match. And there is no question about it. There's no reason to tank the ratings by having Kevin Owens be in the main event of the show. So you have WWE Championship, tables, ladders, and chairs. The first ever Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles match. Okay. So there really is no reason to believe that Drew McIntyre will lose this match either. There's no heat between these two. There was little interaction between them before AJ Styles became the number one contender. So there was no long-lasting heat that really justifies a TLC match. There was, and there there's been some light building of heat. Like WWE kind of destroys the heat with all of this comedy. Like look at what Roman has, right? Like Roman has heat. Roman has momentum. And it's not just because he beats people up and says mean things. It's also because people don't really beat him up. He beats them up. He kind of gets away with it. He kind of gets away with cheating and being mean and stuff like that. Meanwhile, AJ Styles is goofing off with The Miz and John Morrison, and they're doing comedy segments, and there's no real heat between these two. You know, technically, man, this match should just be one-on-one, if we just being honest. There really is no reason for them to have a TLC match, but since it is this way, I believe that it is this way so that you can get the big tall dude involved. And I believe that you probably will end up having Sheamus get involved in here. The story seems to be set up with they're going to be, now if it was 1999, 2000, there'd be run-ins all over the place, especially throughout a lot of these matches on the card, because there are so many opportunities for run-ins. Like you have the other members of the Hurt Business in the Raw Tag Team Championship. You have Lana in the Women's Championship match. You know, you got the Sommelier in the SmackDown match, and you have Jey Uso in the TLC Universal Championship match, and you have Omos and Sheamus and Miz and Morrison in this match. But WWE tends to shy away from doing a lot of run-ins. So I think that there's probably going to be 2 or 3 matches they're going to have run-ins. And I think this is going to be one of them, because obviously the match is set up so Omos could try to help AJ Styles win the match. And obviously he's going to fail, because with AJ Styles being the champion, how would that help Raw? Short term, yes, I believe it would in the short term, just so Drew can win it back. But I don't think you should take the title off of him just so he can run it right back. AJ doesn't really need the title. He can get over without it. But these two really needed some heat, and they don't have it. But I still going to go with Drew McIntyre. So I do think that there is an opportunity here to do some interference. I do think some of these matches will have interference because of the no disqualification nature of the matches. But overall, I think it should be a solid show. I'm just kind of burnt out on the gimmick matches because there's 2 TLC matches. So even if I liked the idea of TLC, do I really like the idea of seeing 2 of them on the same card? Like, do we really need to have 2 of them on the same card? No, really. Like, just be honest. Do we need to have 2 TLC matches? Do we need to have 3 Hell in a Cell matches? For Christ's sake. For Christ's sake, bro. Like, whew. Now, I agree with 2 Rumbles. Now, I like 2 Rumbles. 2 Chambers, you pushing it. 2 Money in the Bank matches, okay. But 3 Hell in a Cell matches. 2, 3 TLC matches. And it's like, and then you have NXT just had ladder matches on TV. So it's ladder match season. You know, it's just December ladder match season. But whatever, man. This is just silly complaints. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hit me with your predictions. Let's compete and compare. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll talk to you guys later. I can paint the dawn with the sunrise.